It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
How did I end up on a ship full of miscreants headed to Fort Joy? I'll tell you. I was a soldier, a lieutenant in Lucian's army. But there's only so much death a man could witness, so many atrocities he could commit in the name of righteousness before he's had enough. And I had enough. The good thing about being a lieutenant is no one questions you when you want to leave camp. And one night, that's just what I did. Still, I hung on to my soldier ways, found myself saluting every captain that would take me on his ship. Then I met her, Amelia. She showed me there was more to life, that I had been existing, not living. We settled on a farm outside of a city, but my happy ending wasn't meant to be quite yet. The Divine Order came calling, knew I had source, and they were there to take me in. Foolishly, I didn't go without a fight, and in the end, I was collared, and Amelia was dead. Now, the man she made me is gone, replaced with the soldier, the outlaw. With vengeance as my cause and hate as my fuel, I shall let nothing stand in my way.
I often like to reflect on my past to help understand how I got to the present. Currently, that involves looking all the way back to my childhood to understand how I got stuck on this boat headed to Fort Joy with a collar around my neck. I was the third-born son of a respected noble family. Now, I say noble, but don't get the idea of kings and queens in your mind. I was born the son of a lord. Growing up with two older brothers and an older sister, the odds of me ascending to become the lord of our village was not likely. So while my older brothers focused more on their combat training and political decisions, I decided to pursue more scholarly pursuits. I took up reading at a very young age and gained a thirst for knowledge similar to what my brothers had for combat. While I cared much more for knowledge I could obtain from reading scrolls, I was still given some combat training. Unlike my brothers, I chose to fight from a distance as it appealed to my safety, so I practiced archery. Surprisingly, I had quite the natural talent for archery, even if it wasn't something I particularly enjoyed. Now, as I grew older, I learned more about the world. I could tell that I was different from any other children my age. I had the ability to do certain magical feats that they couldn't, and I quickly learned that it may be safer to hide this power from the world. I did my best to hide this power from the public eye as to not draw unwanted attention on myself. After all, there aren't any other lizard folk from my village that could do the basic magic that I can. However, the best laid plans can often fail, and when I was 25, someone spotted me using something that the local magisters called source magic. I did my best to deny this and claim it was a rumor, but the magisters have their own ways to determine if an individual is capable of using source magic. They colored me and shackled me up the next night after I was caught using this so-called source magic, and informed me that I was going to be sent on a large ship to the Magister stronghold of Fort Joy. In all my years of reading scrolls and listening to the rumors, this is not a place I want to spend much time. The longer I'm held at Fort Joy, and the more likely it is I'll never get to leave it alive. So while I've never been a fan of fighting, I will do what I have to get off the ship and get back home.
People always ask. Say, hey Grec, how'd you become so famous? Hey Grec, how'd you become so talented? Hey Grec, please stop throwing shit through the bars. How did I end up on this pleasure cruise to Fort Joy? Happiest place on earth. I'll tell you what, pull up a chair. I'll give you my story. Didn't know my ma. Didn't know my pa. Was raised by a group of savage, axe-throwing, chest-pumping barbarians. Worst of the worst. Wasn't no happy times neither. I was their jester. Their joke, not their tribe. Good at making them laugh here or there. Heck, made myself laugh a few times. I was a natural metamorph, that is. Sprouted my first chicken wings when I was just 8 years old. It scared the seven hells out of me. But no, they loved it. They wanted more. They laughed. They cheered. I was having none of it. Well, time flew by. This feisty little bugger. He grew up. Got big. He got wise. The thing is about a circus lion is it's still a lion at the end of the day. It's got teeth. Big, sharp teeth. Now, those same tricks that they loved so much, those same tricks that made them laugh, they weren't laughing anymore. Those tricks made them scream, made them beg for mercy. But no, they didn't get it. We were barbarians. Things stay barbaric. Get out of hand, if you will. Unfortunately, the Divine Order got wind of my little house cleaning act. By the time they caught up, I was clawing at my own collar trying to get it off. Before I knew it, they put me in a new one. Guess I am talented after all, at being locked up. So here I am, back in chains, on a boat, on my way to Fort Frickin' Joy. Thing is, I ain't too good at being a locked animal.
The day they took me was fated, but also their signature on their last breaths. Let me enlighten you and paint my story into your mind. My steps took me far from my motherlands and elvish brothers and sisters. Sent by the all-embracing Divine Mother, may she bless us with the eternal love of ever-flowing water and gentle care of the abundant all-seeing stars. I had to follow the magnetic pulling call of the gods. I am a Draki Frira to my brothers and sisters. There is no such human word, but you might say queen or royal. But the meaning differs from the human role quite a lot. Though I am noble, though my people are looking up to me, honor and respect me, we are equals. They need no one to rule them, no one to take their freedom, but to guide them through sunless days, blood-drowning oceans, and to love them and protect them. Very different from the ways of the Divine Order. I knew they were coming to put me on this ship, where I would meet and connect with the other chosen ones. I knew I had to surrender to let it happen. I didn't fight much. Enough to let them believe this was all I would be capable of. Didn't reveal my magic abilities. Even when my soul-bound duck wanted to berserk through their intestines, when my rage nearly became unbearable to hide. They put a collar on me like a dog, because they knew I was blessed with precious sores. Also, their reason to take me. Where they chained me up, they promised me to torture me, use me, told me to be a good girl. Little did they know that I knew how good their fresh blood will feel on my hands, and how delicious their corpses will be for me when I sink my teeth deep into their flesh. I'm exactly where I'm destined to be, on a ship to a place called Fort Joy. Finally reconciled with my divine fated brothers to go on this blood-dripping journey as one, with the godly odds on our sides.